What is up, everybody? This is Atticus the Death Metaler, and for this video we're going to be talking about CNN. Now, originally I was going to be talking about CNN on a different subject that involves them, but with this new stuff that happened last week and the shitstorm that is going on right now, I could not resist. Now, before Trump's visit to the G20 summit, he decided to tweet a GIF on his Twitter, which involves him clotheslining Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 2007. I believe that's the year it was. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of wrestling. I do have a lot of friends that are big wrestling fans, but this right there is like one of my favorite moments on like wrestling, where Donald Trump clotheslines Vince McMahon on Battle of the Billionaires. But it was a logo of CNN on covering Vince McMahon's face. And that's what made it even much more funny in my eyes, because I fucking hate CNN, which for obvious reasons, which I will bring up, which they pretty much deserve this kind of treatment. And of course, everyone thought that Donald Trump was an immature asshole for posting this. This was not presidential material, but it was CNN that got butthurt so fucking bad that they decided to commit one of the most cardinal sins of the internet: doxing. Yes, they actually, instead of going after Donald Trump as they usually have, they actually tracked down the Reddit user Han Asshole Solo and pretty much said, better apologize to us or else we're gonna send it all of your personal info out to the entire world so that we can fucking shame you, or have crazy extremist Antifa twats saying assholes go after your ass and just hound you to the point where you go insane and go in a mental institution or you kill yourself. So be a good boy and don't post any memes. You got that? CNN, I'm at a fucking loss of words. I mean, you people are bad, but going this extra step, that's pretty much where you just lost any sort of respect and integrity from a lot of people. I mean, this is like millennial woes all over again. If you do not remember, earlier this year, millennial woes was doxxed by a journalist off of the Daily Record by the name of Alan McCune, where millennial woes, yeah, he had to go to fucking exile for a brief moment in time because he had a lot of Antifa thugs out on his house, his neighbor's house, and a lot of his loved one's place and stuff. They're saying, yeah, we want to beat the fuck out of this person and his loved ones. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of millennial woes, and his views are very up there, but to go down and to dox someone because you disagree with them, that's where you draw the fucking line. That is where you draw the fucking line. This is a news organization that will go the extra mile to make themselves more relevant and for ratings. And what's really funny is that WikiLeaks brought out that they doxed the wrong person who made that GIF. Like, what the fuck? You go as far as to dox someone, and yet you dox the wrong person, and you wonder why Poll is going after your asses. I mean, if they could drive Shia LaBeouf to the point and where he is a mental shell of his former glory, then I cannot wait to see what Poll's got in store for CNN. Speaking of WikiLeaks, this is the news organization that tells you that if you look up WikiLeaks, it's illegal, and look us up and, you know, get all our info from us because we're the real fucking deal.
It's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us. Yet,
when you constantly brought out the whole Russia hacked the election bullshit story, it actually turns out that it was fake. And if you think I'm bullshitting or not, This was uncovered by Project Veritas that exposed the DNC that, yeah, they hacked the election by smear campaigning, voter fraud, and election rigging.
Then why is CNN constantly like Russia this, Russia that?
Because it's ratings.
Because it's ratings?
Our ratings are incredible right now.
But honestly, you think the whole Russia shit is just like bullshit?
Could be bullshit. I mean, it's mostly bullshit right now. Like, we don't have any big giant proof. I just feel like they don't really have it, but they want to keep digging. Mm-hmm. And so I think the president is probably right to say, like, look, you are witch hunting me. Like, you have no smoking gun. You have no real proof.
Yeah, that's the same Project Veritas that exposed the DNC, and they've exposed CNN for the Russia hack the election bullshit story. It's so funny because they say, oh, WikiLeaks is illegal and you can't look up alternative media like Breitbart and InfoWars, but you know what? We're the real fucking deal. All that shit is fake news. This is the same news organization that went on with the scoop along with other news organizations that Saddam Hussein was harboring weapons of mass destruction when clearly there was not any evidence or proof that Saddam Hussein was harboring weapons of mass destruction. And what do you know? Iraq was destabilized along with Libya. Libya got the fucking same treatment. And what did we get in return? We have ISIS. We have two destabilized countries that are harboring with terrorists. And we have a refugee and migrant crisis of astronomical proportions that is causing the steady decline of cultural and demographic suicide into Europe. This is the same news organization that brought up that story over that Aleppo boy that looked pretty fucked up.
We shed tears, but there are no tears here. He doesn't cry once. That little boy is in total shock.
It turns out that the Aleppo boy was used as propaganda to the jihadist rebels, and that this boy's family supports Bashar al-Assad, so that you could promote us bombing the shit out of Syria, giving Syria the Iraq and Libya treatment. Which would make things even much more worse for the Western world, including Europe. This is the same news organization that actually supports and endorses Black Lives Matter, trying to make them look good, trying to make them, you know, the movement that is all for racial equality.
We want you to know that our hearts are out there marching with them.
When in fact they're a bunch of black supremacists. Do you remember the Milwaukee riots in which this woman, the victim's sister, actually said this?
Y'all burning down shit we need in our community. Take that shit to the suburbs. Burn that shit down.
Turns out it was actually not aired on CNN, but this was aired on CNN.
With his sister calling for peace.
Don't bring the violence here and the ignorance here.
Milwaukee police.
And this is the same news organization that after the BLM kidnapping happened, Don Lemon had the balls to say this.
I don't think it's evil. I don't think it's evil. I think these are young people and I think they have bad home training.
CNN got fucked so hard after that gif that CNN gets beat in ratings by reruns of old sitcoms and home garden network shows. Oh my, I can't right now. I fucking can't right now. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful right there. This is a news organization that was done on a Harvard study that CNN and NBC coverages on Trump coverage is 93% negative. That shows that CNN is showing a lot of bias, and that bias is used as propaganda, and their propaganda has caused a lot of fucked up shit than a lot of good shit. Don't get me wrong, I am biased myself. All of us try to say that we are unbiased as we possibly can, but I remembered on my last semester in college when I was doing my media theory classes, I said the same thing. I try to be as unbiased as possible, and my professor said this to me. You say that you try to be as unbiased as possible, but in the long run, we all do have some sort of bias. That's just how we work. We all have some sort of bias that we hold to ourselves. And it's fine. It's fine to be biased. I'm biased. You're biased. A lot of my friends that I associate with say that they're as unbiased as possible, but in truth, they all do have some sort of bias. It's fine to have some sort of bias, but when your bias goes to the lengths of propaganda to where the Western world is at stake, that's where it's harmful. And I know a lot of you are going to be saying, Atticus the Death Meddler, what about Fox News? I could agree that Fox News has done some shady shit. I remembered watching a documentary in my media theory class that Fox News was doing a lot of fucked up shit. Don't get me wrong, I still dislike Fox News, but as of right now, Fox News has been doing a little bit better as of recently. I mean, they fired Bill O'Reilly, which I fucking hated Bill O'Reilly. They have Tucker Carlson replacing him, which, you know, he's a good replacement. But, you know, Tucker Carlson is his own set of things as well. But still, I'm not that big of a fan of Fox News. But still, like, the fact that Fox News is doing a little bit better than CNN, that just shows something. That just shows something right there. Yes, there is a lot of media sources that are biased in their very way. Breitbart is pretty biased, but there are some articles that I read up that I actually agree with. Same thing with InfoWars. I know that Paul Joseph Watson isn't one of the sharpest tools in the shed, but there are some things about Paul Joseph Watson that I like. Same with Lauren Southern. Tim Pool, who is actually a really good journalist. He is actually one of the best journalists I have ever came across, and where he actually goes down to the sources that he does. Same with Julian Assange of WikiLeaks. I sense that there is like a new era of media coming along, and where people like what I brought up, Paul Joseph Watson, Stefan Molyneux, Lauren Southern, Tim Pool, Philip DeFranco, Armored Skeptic, all these sorts of people, if things go the way they are, and that CNN gets destroyed as the crooked mainstream multi-billion dollar corporation that it is, if it goes down the way it is, and we see an emergence of new mainstream media sources, that would be quite something. But I often ask myself, if the old ways of journalism and mainstream media die out and the new ones emerge, would they become the new sources of propaganda? I don't know. I honestly do not know. But if this ever happens, we'll see what goes on and all that stuff. And a few ending notes here to CNN. You wonder why a lot of people are calling you fake news. You wonder why that Donald Trump is refusing to have press conferences from you guys. And you are wondering why that poll is going after your ass. It's because you pulled this shit. You have no one to blame but your own selves. You're nothing more than propaganda that needs to be snuffed out of the world. You are doing nothing but destroying the Western world. And quite frankly, I am loving the beautiful destruction that you have brought on to your own selves. And for that, good riddance, Commie News Network. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Meddler. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links on the description below. Keep it metal. Have a wonderful day.